The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the raw and uncensored Ambitchious podcast. I'm your host, the original HBIC, Katie Boyd. During our time here together, I will be instilling all of the strength, power, and determination you will need to use the very stones thrown at you to build your ultimate empire. We will redefine the word bitch from the derogatory to the acronym being in total control of herself. So let's adjust our crowns and prepare to live life ambitiously. Oh yeah, here I am, the original HBIC, Katie motherfucking Boyd. And over here is literally the pimple that I've been squeezing on my ass since the Reagan administration. It just keeps giving and giving and giving. Yeah.
It never goes away.
No matter what I do, it just always shows back up.
You can't get rid of me.
With that oily head.
I'm here.
Matt Babine, my husband. I can murder this
Thank
motherfucker.
God. Thank God. Yes. Don't murder me.
Thank God. Thank God.
Thank God I'm here. Well, God forbid. Imagine the alternative. I wouldn't be here.
The alternative would be that it would just be Katie Boyd on the Ambitchious podcast, her podcast that I had many, many moons ago until you came to the relationships podcast and never, ever went away.
Because look at our relationship. It's magnificent.
You like the clap.
They have penicillin.
Oh my God, I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna double dose it. Today's podcast is all about sacred Sundays. So it's a thing that Matt and I do every Sunday. And don't get too turned on. It's not pornographic.
Sometimes it is.
It's about detoxing from the world because let me tell you, sometimes I like to have a sacred Sunday just by my damn self.
Yes.
But you always are there. So I have to just...
I live there.
I just have to... Yeah, it's just like, you're still here? He's like, I live here.
It's our house.
But before we start the podcast, I always love to give an ambitious shout out to our amazing sponsor, Ayana, owner of Prana Hair, Skin, and Lash.com. If you tell her this bitch sent you, she will give you $50 off your first set of lashes. Thank God for her.
That's awesome.
Thank God. She's the only thing that's keeping me alive at this point. It's just getting my lashes done.
So you get your lashes done, and then the rest of the
weeks,
in between, I just take your life slowly.
The rest of the time is just weekend at Bernie's. My life is one fucking big weekend at Bernie's until Ayana does my lashes, and then I feel alive for like 24 hours, and then I die again.
Because of me?
Yes, you're so annoying, and
I'm so loved.
It's just so funny because the deeper I get into my life, the more I just got you like a bitch.
You don't. You love me.
Oh.
You can't wait.
Oh.
You can't wait to be with me.
Read your text messages, Matt, from Katie motherfucking
with
Boyd.
With all the love emojis?
No, all the turds.
Okay.
The turds and eggplant emojis.
She's very feisty today.
I am. I'm aggravated. I'm tired. And I never say that. I'm at my wit's end.
At my wit's end.
That's why I haven't
heard that forever.
A sacred Sunday.
I am at my wit's end.
It's very 1929 of me, isn't it, to say these things? I use the old throwback sayings. I like them.
Well, that's the language we grew up with.
You know,
it comes up quickly.
2 birds in the hand equals 1 in the bush.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
Something. Well, 1 bird in the hand is a bush and a. No, I don't know what it is.
You're good for
one
nothing.
Hand in the no one.
One hand in your pants is worth what?
Millions.
All right, Dirk Diggler. So Matt and I, for the last couple of months, have been doing this thing called Sacred Sunday. And some people will say it's like a digital detox, but we're very intentional with it. And it's been saving our lives because, we are in the season of our lives where we're running like 4 or 5 businesses in between us.
Yes.
And we are in the people business. So we have a lot of people that we're kind of wrangling. Hurting all the time, not hurting HURTING, but hurting like, okay, get these people here and then we have to do this and this person has to do that and whatever.
It's a lot of service. It's a lot of service.
I love it, but it gets to a point where you're like, okay, I need a day for myself not to be on, the phone, not to be on.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I was just coming upstairs and I was talking to one of the ladies who works here and she's like, do you ever just feel like you're always like on? And I was like, absolutely.
All the time.
And I was saying how yesterday I did an 8-hour shoot with my videographer to get people ready for, the book to be coming out and all these different things. And she's like, and then what do you do when you're done? And I said, well, yesterday I went home and I walked in the door and my husband says to me, like, how was your day? And I'm like, just give me just a couple minutes.
You were tired. I could tell because I knew when you were going. Well, first I thought you were only going to be gone 4 or 5 hours. And we ended up putting in
that never happens that way.
9 hours on camera, which is to be on.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You have to be on point. And
right.
It's a lot of energy. And
yes.
I knew you were going to be really tired. Yeah.
And the day before I was in New York.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah. So it was
in and out of New York in one day.
One day.
And then came home and then taught my business mastermind and then went live on my Ambitchious 28-day protocol page and answered an hour of questions from women all over the world about,
it's a busy
why they
time.
Can't poop.
Yeah. Why they can't poop.
This is my life. Or why they're pooping too much.
But it's funny because I always say, because I'm
an expert.
I'm a sales executive and I own, the martial arts studio, and then I do speaking engagements. And it's like, if you're an accountant, you can go in your area and just crunch numbers or whatever, and you don't have to be nice to people.
Right.
You can just kind of just do your work.
You're in your cubicle.
That's it.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I have to be in a good mood, no matter what else is going on in the world or anyone else's world and my personal world.
Yes.
I have to be able to put my good foot forward,
right?
To
and
smile,
a happy face.
Put
on a happy face.
Pump everybody up and make sure that they have a great experience.
Yes.
And sometimes by the end of that, we're like, oh my God, I am emotionally, spiritually drained.
Crazy.
Because it takes so much energy to keep that up.
Like when I drive home sometimes or fly home from a 3-day retreat that I teach, I actually, I've said to you, I go, I think I taste blood.
Yeah.
In my throat.
Yeah, because you've been
and
talking.
He's like, what do you mean? And I was like, it
3
tastes
days.
bloody. I think that my vocal cords are damaged.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Yeah. I mean, to keep that kind of energy up, it's not easy.
Right.
So we kind of got together and we said, one day we just have to really unplug and do it with intention.
Right.
And I think, we've been doing it for a couple of months now, and it has helped us tremendously. Don't you think?
I agree.
Yeah.
So let's tell everybody at home how you do a sacred Sunday and what are the benefits of doing a sacred Sunday. Or it doesn't have to be a Sunday. It could be any day of the week. But we just know that Sundays for us both work. And one of our rules is we don't work on Sundays.
Right.
So it's not like any religious stuff we're doing. It's just Sundays are our day that we both just can sleep in, even though I'm still up at 4 a.m. because I'm like, hi, here I am. Matt will sleep in until 10, and I loathe him.
9 o'clock.
Loathe him.
9 o'clock is the latest. Well, I did sleep until 10 when they changed the clock.
No, he always sleeps till 10. Don't let him lie to you. And it's funny because on Sundays, I'm like, I'll maybe throw in some laundry and and I'll go in the room and I'll just want to jump on the bed and stab him to death because he's still sleeping. And I'm like, why can't I sleep in? I just don't have that capacity.
I have that capacity because by the time on Sunday comes, I'm getting my rest.
No, totally. And I'm working on becoming better with that. Yeah. I just am a frenetic, anxiety-stricken bitch.
Actually, since we adopted this policy, you've been actually really good.
No,
you should be proud of yourself. You really have, no devices. You've really been able to be 150% more in the moment of planning what we're going to do together, going out, whether it's going out to get brunch or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So, Sacred Sunday. And like I said, this could be any day of your week. You want to plan it out. You want to do it intentionally, and you want to try to keep the same day every week, right? So that's number one rules.
Yep.
Then number 2, you want to make sure that you're actually doing things for self-care. So for me, I know a huge thing that trips me up is social media. I feel like I always should be on my social media pages, answering questions, answering inboxes, answering DMs, on, my email, because in this day and age, if you run more than one company or you have any kind of work from home that you do, you're taking home work, whatever, from your 9 to 5, people are always going to try to get a hold of you. And it's up to us to say, you know what? My rule is I'm not doing this today. And then, stick to the law because I'm really good at making the rules. And then I'm like, but it's just this one time. I'm just going to answer this email. And he's like, what are you doing? And then as soon as you answer that one email, then the person that you're actually telling, oh, this is my Sacred Sunday, but then you're answering their text or answering their email, then they're like, oh, I got her.
Yeah.
right?
There's
and then
no sacredness. Yeah.
there's no sacredness. So for Matt and I, there's no social media. So whatever we have to put out into the world for social media, we do it the actual day before.
Yes.
Right? So we just like, okay, like Matt does this thing called Sensei Sunday where he talks to his kids at his karate studio and he gives them this awesome, inspirational talking to, and then they have to watch it. And then during the week, what do? You ask them questions.
They have to implement, whether if it's goal setting
Yes.
or if it's confidence or if it's eye contact, they
Yes.
have to tell me how they used it in their daily lives.
Yes.
It's part of the martial arts curriculum.
But what was happening was every Sunday, Matt would look at me and go, "Can you post this on my Facebook page? Because I don't know how to post." I'm like, "Oh my God,
Actually, she posts much better than me. She always comes up with something nice to write. And she always, because that's your gift. You're a writer. I'm not an author. So if I was an author and, I do the taxes. I do
the cross that I bear.
Stuff. I do all the stuff that you don't want to do, and there's certain things that I don't want to do. So I'll hand it over to you. But I noticed you was getting a little bit perturbed, so I says, "All right, listen, this is crazy. We need one day that we both agree on that it's going to be a day that we spend the time together." And there's no work. It's going to be, it's creation. We don't think that's work. Like if we want to talk about something that we're going to create or do or something like that, that's exciting.
Yes.
Not like, we have to do billing or we have to do this or
answer
we
this
have
person's
to answer
email.
this email.
Right.
And I think it's like, I really miss like old school stuff, like like Wednesday was spaghetti day, or this day. These
Prince
things,
spaghetti.
These things kind of lost their way. Like I don't even think a lot of families have Sunday dinner anymore.
Oh my God, I used to love Sunday dinner.
We talked about this, and it's like everyone's got so caught up. One family's in California, another family's in Boston, somebody's in Ohio. The connection was supposed to be so much more connected. But I feel that we're really not. I think
we're more disconnected than ever, in my opinion. More
disconnected and more, living in like stimulus response where, I can reach anybody anytime. All I have to do is send them an email. But the thing is, you choose to open that email. You choose to open Facebook or Instagram or whatever the case may be. And your boundaries need to be strict, or else you're going to be in stimulus response all the time.
Yes.
And when you're in that response mode, you're never going to have control of your life because it's everyone else's agenda that you're answering, being, doing, and whatever. And I think this helped us tremendously because I noticed on Sunday night when we went to bed that night, I was like, the first time we really did it, where we didn't send out anything or do anything. It was just like so relaxing.
Well, because you would get like Sunday night anxiety.
I always get Sunday night anxiety because of just what's coming up. And now what I do is I finish my Saturday and I know what I'm doing on Monday. And it's already had time. Whatever I wrote down, I've had time to process everything that I already know. It's on my legal pad. I know what I'm going to do the next day on Monday.
Yes.
I don't have to think about it. I don't have to bring it. If it's a problem or a solution I'm trying to come up with, I've already kind of got an idea how I'm going to move forward with it.
Right.
And I think that's a tremendous release, right?
100%. No, because like I never got like Sunday anxiety. I just have anxiety every day of the week. But when you would get it, I would start getting it too. Like, maybe I should have anxiety as well because if Matt's anxious, I should be anxious. And it's just like, no. So now on Sundays, we get up. Well, I still get up early, but we get up and we don't wake up with an alarm.
Yep.
And we just take the morning slow. So like we'll listen to something like super inspirational. We'll do our meditation. We'll have like coffee in our robes. Mm-hmm. And then like around like noon, Matt will look at me and say, "Hey, like, what do you want to do for dinner? Do you want to like cook a nice meal together? Or do you want to go out and have like a, I don't know, like a dinner lunch, like a late lunch, early dinner? Yeah. You want to have a couple of cocktails? Like, what do you want to do?" And it's a very intentional day where before I was like, writing emails to my clients and like answering, because what happens is, as you know, I'm so focused on like the big picture work during the week that a lot of the other things get pushed to the side. Right. And then I'm like, oh, but I have Sunday off, so I could just like do all like the scrap work.
Right.
And then I would wake up at like 4 a.m. and by like noon, I was like ready to go back to sleep like for 3 or 4 hours. And he's like, "It's Sunday. It's a beautiful day. Like, come on, let's go have fun." And I'm like, "I don't want to. I'm tired."
Or it's, when you're doing that work on a Sunday too, then it comes Monday and then you're supposed to be on and you're exhausted because you never had any time to unplug.
Yep.
Right. So I think we got.
And then I end up crying on the bathroom floor like I did last week.
That was a little bit of I think that was a Mercury breakdown, Mercury
Oh my
retrograde
God.
break. I was like, oh, Jesus.
I don't even know what Matt said or whatever, but I was just like, I hate you. And I like went and like laid on the floor in the bathroom.
I think I just said I was hungry.
And here's the deal though. I locked the door because I was just like, I want to be alone. And I just went and laid on the floor and it's like I was wailing, crying. And then I hear like, he's breaking into the bathroom with like a little key thing. I didn't even know that we had those in the house. We have them.
I said, kid, are you okay? She goes, oh, I'm just having a really bad day. And I said, hon, you need to take some time. You need to rest, babe. You're not resting. And she said, I know. And then I think that's when we,
well, that's when I blew my nose. And Matt goes, I always know you're done when you blow your nose really hard.
It's like the surrender flag. It's like the white flag.
It's like
I hear that nose blow and I'm like, and it is done. And it is done.
It's like when
the emotional breakdown is over.
It's like when the White Walkers come and they go like they sound that shell. Like, oh, that's when you know I'm done with my breakdown.
The breakdown is over. When you blow your nose, that tissue comes out. It's like the white flag, and I'm like, thank God it's over. I look at my little Boston Terrier. I go, we made it through the episode.
Oh yeah, she just looks up at you like that bitch crazy. That bitch crazy. But it's when you and I'm only saying this because again, I don't want you guys to think I'm a pathetic fuck, but yeah. I know that all of you guys out there in Ambitchious land, like you all go through this stuff because you guys email me and you Instagram me and you Facebook me being like, what happens? Like, do you ever have like nervous breakdowns? Like, you just seem like you and Matt have it all together. I'm like, yes, like 3 times a week I sit on the couch and I say, what am I doing with my life? Like, what is the meaning of all this, right? And then I blow my nose and then I get back to work.
Yeah, and we go out and have something to eat, or we go for a walk, or we go to the gym, whatever the case may be. But you have to have a release, right? So, and guys do it too. I mean, we call it stress. We're not as good as getting
you call it blackout
out,
drunk,
right? Or blackout, whatever you want to call it. And I think guys hold a lot of stuff in, then all of a sudden they snap, or they snap at their kids, or they snap at their spouse,
or they have a heart attack,
and they just don't get it out. Where women, I think, are a lot better dealing with their emotions that way. But why do we, as human beings, not human doings, why don't we nip it in the bud? Why don't we have processes to work through and know that these things come up? And I think, like I said, the parents we grew up with and that age group, they had certain systems like, Wednesday spaghetti, Sunday dinner, we're going to have some
Tuesday.
people come over.
Yeah, those are the good old days.
I know it sounds kind of weird, but it's kind of like it's something to look forward to. And like when we go on Sunday, we'll go, we know a special restaurant we love to go early to, like around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep.
Have a late lunch,
early
late dinner.
Special.
Then we'll get something. We'll watch something at night that night, or we'll have time for just.
We'll play like Monopoly.
We'll play games. And that's really important to just get away from everything electronic devices.
So, are you suggesting that we bring back the old school shit?
Some things need to be brought back.
What would you bring back if you could bring back some old school stuff?
Well, I love Sacred Sunday that we implemented.
Okay.
I love.
Would you have like dinner, like a Sunday dinner?
Well, you were the one who brought that back. You said, "Hey, listen, on certain Sundays we'll go out, and certain Sundays we'll plan to make a meal."
But when I was a little
together."
girl, my grandmother would make like this beautiful, like a turkey dinner with like all the fixings, or like a roast beef, and like everyone would just come. But I don't really want people at my house.
No, but I think it's just
like I was like thinking about it in my mind, and I just saw my house turning into a shamble.
I think it's just the two of us, right? So we'll just make a chicken, or we'll make something nice together. I think that's really kind of cool to be able to do that. It has to be our family rituals, right?
Yes.
So everyone should make something that makes them feel special,
right?
And feel relaxed and good. Where you're not in the TikTok, I gotta do this, I gotta make the donuts type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. So that's Sunday would be Sacred Sunday dinner. What would Monday be?
Monday would be already planned, like I said, on Saturday, because we work Saturday. Saturday is actually a half a day or sometimes longer on Saturday. Yeah. So I like to get everything out of the way by Saturday afternoon.
But you like to do your cheat meal on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday night I usually
Why,
like to
though?
go.
Tell everybody why you like to do your cheat meal. What is your whole processes mentally about your cheat meal?
The process of the cheat meal is if you eat clean.
By the way, every fucking day of my husband's life is a cheat meal.
If you eat clean.
Don't get it twisted.
No, I'm ripped.
Ripped off.
Yeah, probably right.
Let's be serious here.
There's a part of me that's ripped. I don't know why. But anyways, I'm working on
Your
it.
ankles.
My ankle is ripped, isn't it?
Yeah, it's shredded.
So on Saturday I like to have the cheat meal because Sunday, like,
What's your cheat meal?
usually something Italian. Like
Yeah.
I love Italian food.
Yeah.
I love Chinese food. Whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah. So Matt will have a meatball the size of his
my head
and a loaf of bread. This is how it starts.
Yes.
Then he'll get a chicken parm.
Yes.
With raviolis.
Yes. Well, now I'm on the chicken piccata.
Oh, okay.
I've been doing chicken piccata with ziti, and because it's high in carbohydrates, so I eat pretty much keto or fast during the week. I only eat one meal a day during the week.
Matt's Cheeto.
95% of the time. This is my time to talk about my food.
Okay, go ahead.
And then
lie to everyone and back out there.
I was like, if I eat this, but boy, sometimes I feel a little bit crappy the next day after eating these carbohydrates.
What he's saying is he feels bloated and he shits his pants.
Yeah, that too. And I don't want to go to, I don't want to go bring that into Monday. Monday, I like to.
No one likes to poop their pants on a Monday.
Especially
it's bumper to bumper traffic going into Boston.
And I'm in the road all day on Monday, so that's not a good situation.
We'll have to get you some rubber underwear.
Yes, like the astronauts. I could just keep going.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'll just have to wear big suits.
Yeah, blow it up. Go ahead. So why? Keep going.
Yeah.
So what is your whole thing about Saturday? Why you do it?
Saturday, I have my meals, whatever I want to do.
So if you want to feel like a bag of smashed assholes, it's on Sunday.
You get up on Sunday, then you don't have to be, nothing's pressing.
Yeah.
You can kind of hang out, have your coffee, and do what you need to do. I do my meditation, and we plan on what we're going to do for late lunch, early dinner.
So then
I like a late lunch, early dinner. That's like my favorite.
I know.
I don't like to eat.
You're like an old man in Boca.
No, that's
like we gotta go get the blue light special. What's it called? The
blue light special.
Or is it blue light is Kmart. Blue plate is like.
Oh, I don't think it's any blue plate special. We go to good restaurants, but I'm saying to you is, I like to get it early, and that way we have time to kind of mess around for the rest of the night.
Mm-hmm.
That could be love time. That could be
love
TV
time.
That could be,
what is that, sir? Pray tell.
I will tell you later.
Oh my God! If my husband is lost and you find him with a ball gag somewhere on 93, just on the side of the road, it was love time.
Yeah, and I was abused as usual. Either I'm being abused with my food.
It's very mind huntery in here. It's very mind hunter. And so Mondays are my hardcore work day. That's when I see my clients. So there's no real stuff going on a Monday. We usually are fasting on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Yes.
So we usually do 48-hour fast Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday night we do our refeed.
Yeah, and
that's date night.
I don't teach anything that night. I don't work on Tuesday night. I don't schedule anything on Tuesday night. That's our night to go out and do something fun.
Okay, so that's date night.
Yes.
Wednesday, you want it to be Prince Spaghetti night?
I don't know. No, I don't think it could because that may inflict with my.
What is Prince Spaghetti night? Is that like what is
it? Used to be a thing years ago.
Is it Prince sauce? Is that what we're talking about?
I don't know what it is, but what I'm saying is.
I love how Matt is just talking shit, but he's like, I don't even know what I'm saying.
It was Prince Spaghetti night, but what I'm saying is it's a routine. Sometimes
the lady would go, Anthony.
Yes, and the TV ad, Anthony, it's Prince Spaghetti night. The kid be running through the North End, and it'd be like his grandmother would be yelling out the window. The North End of Boston.
It's the only Italian place in the whole world.
Well, that's where it was happening in the ad.
Oh, it says you. Was it true?
Yes.
Ben's shaking his head.
Yes,
Ben's
it was.
Like, yeah.
Thank you, Ben. Ben's correct. Yes.
I just keep looking over at Ben is he telling the truth? Can you Google that? Because he's a fucking useless well of knowledge. And most of the shit he says is wrong.
And it's very true.
Yes.
And that's what was going on.
Okay, and then Taco Tuesday?
I don't want any Taco Tuesday. What I'm saying is you have
I do like a taco, though.
You can have a Taco Tuesday.
I love Mexican
That's
food.
Up to you.
You've ruined my Mexican life.
I'm not crazy about Mexican food.
You had Mexican food not too long ago, and you're like, this is really good. I don't know why I don't like Mexican food. I'm like, it's delicious.
I don't think I was ordering the right stuff. You tell me what to order, and it's usually
you just like a big old plate of fried beans.
No, I don't want any.
Matt likes to slather the refried beans on his naked body and roll around in Tostitos.
I'm just thinking about what this looks like. It doesn't look good.
No,
so
it's turning me on.
Take that. Oh, that's all right.
No, it's just kidding. It's right up there with rubber underwear. Seriously. Okay, and then Thursdays are what?
Thursdays, I usually work late Thursday nights. So that's
Fridays?
Fridays are, Friday nights, usually we hang out together. We do whatever we want.
You're boring the fuck out of me right now.
What do you want to do?
My life just turned into a big boring.
Tell me.
I want to go to the strip clubs. I want to just go to the Roxy. I just want to party my tits off. No, I know the Roxy's closed. I used to work there, buddy.
The Roxy's closed.
I want to go have cold tea in Chinatown.
That's always fun.
Do you guys know about cold tea in Chinatown?
No.
You know about cold tea in Chinatown.
I know what it is. Yeah, I don't think
Tell
else
our Ambitchious.
So years ago,
tell the youngins, the young people that listen to this that are like, what's cold tea and where can I get my hands on this?
Used to be when all the clubs closed, when I was, back in the
theater district in Boston, which is
scene.
right near Chinatown.
And
set the story.
You would go partying, and then you would go out and have cold tea, which was...
What was partying to you, Matt?
Oh, partying to me was probably drinking a lot of alcohol, dancing, and meeting some lovely ladies.
Recreational drugs?
Yes. Well, no, never. Never.
Please.
No.
Please. 1994 called.
This is a family show.
This is not. How is this a fucking family show? Did you hear me just scream in my microphone? It like reverberated. Like,
blew my eardrums
out. No, Ben's deaf. He's like, first day with these fuckers, and I've lost my hearing. Matt, it's not a family show.
So anyways,
if you say cock and balls on a podcast, it's probably not for the children.
Not for the children. But no. And plus, I was partying in the 80s. I wasn't in 94. Which
was the 80s was a lot of recreational drugs.
Oh, my God. It was craziness. Yes.
Okay. All right. We're going to move on. Matt doesn't want to out himself in all his partying ways.
Oh, I was an animal.
So we would go and we'd party our tits off at the clubs in the theater district in Boston. And then you would stumble like across the street and then end up in Chinatown. And it was like 4 a.m. But the Chinese restaurants were still open. But there was no booze being served.
Yes.
And you wanted to keep that party going.
I don't know why.
You wanted to go to the after hours, to the after hours, to the after hours.
And then you would go eat breakfast.
It was the best days of my life.
Down Revere Beach.
So, no, you would eat breakfast in Revere Beach?
Yeah, they had that place.
You'd also get arrested in Revere Beach.
There was this place called Pewter Pot. We used to go there afterwards.
A puker pot?
Pewter.
Like pewter?
Yeah, pewter. And we would go there.
I want to eat at the pewter.
We would have breakfast.
The pewter pot.
And it would be like 5 a.m. by the time I get home. And then Saturday was a blowout because then it was just
blowout.
Like,
you go to the Kowloon the next day.
Oh, yeah. And then we wake up around 2.
And then you would feel
that was my recreation.
But then you'd be hungover and you would just get back up and do it again.
Oh, if the phone rang back then, I'd be like, well, oh God, I don't know. All right, gotta go.
Let me dust myself off.
Who's going?
Put my partying pants back on. But so we would go and we would say to the people who were working at the Chinese food restaurant, I would like such and such. You'd order your food and you'd say, and a pot of cold tea, and you'd wink at them.
It was probably old Duels. Probably had no alcohol in it.
I doubt that highly. And then they would give you a pot of tea, but it was really beer.
Yeah.
It was the best.
It was the best. And
so everyone would be like,
good.
oh, this tea is so delicious. Ha, 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 ha. And then you would go to the after hours.
Yes, after that.
And then you would go to breakfast at the Pewter Pot.
The Pewter Pot.
That's so weird to me. We would go to a place at like a little diner in Taunton.
Oh yeah.
And I'll never forget it. It was like 5 a.m. and I was just in my whole outfit with like, mascara probably like running down my face from, dancing my ass off. And I just remember this guy just like whipping it out and pissing all over the counter.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, I'm fucking hungry. I'm just going to keep eating. I don't care.
You didn't care.
Because when you're young, like those things don't faze you.
That was a breakfast in a show.
Yeah, it was. And now if that happened, I would clutch my pearls and I would gasp.
It was a what do you call it? A floor show.
It was. It was. See, those were every day of our lives back then. But now we're like, and then on Sunday we have to meditate and everything's sacred.
Plus, back then they didn't have social media.
Okay.
So if you wanted somebody, you had to call them up on the phone. Say, hey, what are we doing?
Oh, you mean like the rotary phone?
Yeah, sometimes a rotary, and then I got push button. I could call my friends.
We had a rotary phone forever because we would pout.
I could call my friends quickly with the push
Would
button.
you have a long cord and then would you go talk to them in the closet?
Yep. Oh, we had phones in different rooms.
Those are the best days. Those are the best days.
I had my own phone. And then we had pay phones. And then we had beepers back then.
I saw a payphone in Montreal this summer and it still worked.
It was working. I saw that too.
It was like a relic. It was right near Wanda's strip club.
Do you remember? Oh, Wanda's strip club. Remember that? We were right next to it.
We were in it.
Yeah, we were in it. It's 3 o'clock in the morning when we had to go find that kid.
Oh man! And the next day I had to travel, and like, why do I always get like that wasted the night before we have to travel somewhere? It's just the worst to get on a plane or like get in a car and have to travel when you're hungover.
I learned my lesson because now we don't do it anymore. I think that was the last of it for me.
I love how he's like, we don't do it anymore. It just happened 6 months ago.
That was 6 months ago.
I've turned over a new leaf.
It's a long time.
I've turned over a new leaf. But so what we're saying is, I don't know how we got on this whole like cocaine infused tangent. Yeah. I was very Scarfacey. I'm feeling very Ursula right now. But what we're saying is, you control your day. You control everything that happens.
Yes.
So if you want to go back to like Stranger Things times and use a rotary phone and have Prince Spaghetti night and not, be in in the flux every moment of the day and say, like, on Sundays, like, I'm turning my social media off and I'm turning my email off and I'm not answering people's text messages and I'm gonna, have my brunch and I'm gonna have my nap and I'm gonna be like George Burns and wear my rubber underwear and smoke my cigar, then you do it.
Then you do it, right?
You love it.
I love it.
But how many people out there aren't doing this?
Too many. And then that's why they're getting burnt out. That's why they don't feel like they ever, get any time off.
You know what I'm doing after this podcast? I am going to go get my planner and I'm going to plan my days to be like 1987.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and I'm going to go get a Huffy bike. I'm going to get a Huffy bike.
Right off a hill.
Oh my God, we die. We would die. So listen, guys, if you took nothing from this podcast, which you probably didn't because it was a literal shit show. A stream of consciousness.
I think they actually got a lot out of it.
Do you think?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, God, I'll be getting emails. What the fuck was that, Katie? What the hell are you people talking about? All we have to say is take one day a week, make it your Sabbath.
Yes.
Make it sacred, turn off the social media, plan some fun times with friends or family members, and kick it old school, and watch how your life the next day just is so much more full of ease.
Absolutely.
Because you've rested, not only your physical body, but also like your emotional, spiritual, and mental.
Mind.
Yeah.
Rest your mind. Yeah.
All right. I'm glad that we taught you nothing today on this podcast. Thank you all for being crusaders to this ambitious movement. Like I always say, see you next Tuesday.
Good job.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.